Alright, good morning. Today I want to talk about the new book by Mike Konczal, Freedom from the Market. Mr. Konczal is more well known on the internet as Rordiba on Twitter and the blogs. I did like this book. I just read it this week. One good thing about it is that it is very short. It clocks at about 200 pages, and it doesn't really necessarily feel like a short book because as you read it, it just reminds you about all the things that are messed up in the world and just makes you mad. And you go off and you think about other things and you want to go post on Twitter about all these things that made you mad. It's framed as kind of like his bigger project where the market has encroached upon everybody, from education, from healthcare, to our jobs, and each chapter is one section about that. It is there's an implicit thing there where as we've moved to neoliberalism and we've had a problem with this more atomized world, that we are more dependent on the market and we're had to. And one of the things that really, in my mind that came up while I was reading this was that this is a reformist text, but if I was one of the lords of capitalism, I would actually kind of push against it. So it's like these various red scares we've had are actually bad for the systems we have because it shows the contradictions and it eliminates the things that we could put in place as a reform. So if you call medicine that's free for everybody at the point of access, call that socialism, you can't do it, and that just heightens the contradictions of capitalism. One of the things that he mentions early on in the book but doesn't really fully develop, I think is important, is looking at the unit of production and consumption. So back in the 19th century, about 50% of all Americans were agricultural workers. We lived in farms. So what that means is that now we're at 2%. Back then, you had a family, worked on a farm. The family was its own safety net. If one person got sick or couldn't work, then you had everyone else could take up a slack. As we industrialized, we moved into the cities, that unit of production and consumption narrowed to the individual. And so what freedom from the market really is really pushing from the individual back out, and which is, I think it's a good project on a reformist thing. If we're not going to have a revolution, we might as well have a capitalism that works for everybody, and we don't have that yet. So I really like Mr. Konczal's book, and I would say everyone should read it because it's a good book. It's really thought-provoking, and it really lays out a lot of the problems that we have with the economy as a whole, as it exists right now. Thank you.